episode 3 of Girl Talk. I want to welcome all of my gorgeous girls back with us. Today we are doing our Girls Who Travel episode. We have Manessa.
Hi.
She is our guest today, but of course you guys already know Ashley.
Hey guys.
We're back because she wrote a book.
Yes.
But apart from writing a book, she has been so many places. I don't even know where to begin or where to start. So we're gonna get into that. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start that. Let's start that for the
So my name is Manessa Lormajust, and I work as a hair color chemist for L'Oreal USA. I'm a traveler. I'm a blogger, nestknows.com, and I also like to say I'm a mentor. I think that pretty much sums up what I do and who I am. I'm from New Jersey, born and raised. Probably will stay here for a little bit, but that's about me.
All right. Today, so apart from our normal activities, we're going to be, sipping on some wine, discussing her book, and then we're also doing a small giveaway for our girls who love to travel.
So exciting.
I know, right? So I'm really excited. Let's just start off about this book.
Okay.
So I read a little short summary of what she sent me, and just kind of give a synopsis of what it is. She's ready. Of what it is for the people out there,
so
and how they can also get it too.
Okay. So She's Ready is actually a collection of travel stories, all from women of color. It was organized by this nonprofit called Statement Junkie out of New York. Statement Junkie provides young travelers, young women actually, with their first passport through like after school programs and like a whole curriculum of sorts, if you say, of different activities, different experiences to kind of get them in the mindset of traveling so that can have a positive impact on their life, on their learning, just how they are in the world as young adults. But my chapter in She's Ready focuses on my experience studying abroad. So I actually studied abroad the summer after sophomore year of college. I studied abroad in Paris, France. It was my second time in Paris, but with this experience, I was fully immersed in the culture for 6 weeks. My professors from Rutgers actually came on the trip with us and rented like the classroom, and we would like go to class. Yeah, so instead of me actually going to school at a French university, it was my Rutgers French professors that came. I had class Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Wednesday was always dedicated to a cultural experience. Like when I tell you, like, I loved it. My professors would, we would only have class from like 9 to 12. With an hour lunch, or like 9 to 1:30, whatever, and like they literally let us explore the city for the rest of the day. Like, and we would always talk. Like, I took a literature course, but in my conversational class, we would just talk about what we did, like what we did yesterday, what we did this weekend, what we're going to do, like anything that we saw was weird or like any awkward interactions, because I'm a woman of color, but there were other people like I had a friend who's Asian, and like kind of like how her experience was in Paris. But I must say it was the cultural activities that really shaped the experience. Like, they got us tickets to Le Louvre. Like, we had like a student pass to Le Louvre.
Wow.
So it wasn't even like they gave us a ticket for a day. It was like,
you could just
here,
go.
like I was going, like I went like four or five times.
You
like,
had that free time.
I would have been, and it was just so crazy because all of that was already built into the tuition that we paid. So, and I know like a lot of times tuition is like a big issue when studying abroad, but I can honestly say with that experience, I really got my money's worth. Like, they had rosé and like wine, and our ticket gave us like all these different drinks, right? But I'm like on this like rooftop. Right, first of all, I love rooftops.
I was just about
so
to
it's like, first of all, I'm drinking rosé. I love rosé. I'm on a rooftop. I love rooftops.
And you're in Paris.
Right.
Of all places.
And it's just like literally 3 main things that I really, really love are like all in one. And I'm overlooking, so like in Paris is this really famous river called La Seine. And it's like people like, and we've like adopted that too. Like we would go picnicking there, and like I'm talking about drinking wine and like eating cheese and snacks before we go out. So we would like pregame there, and I'm overlooking La Seine, drinking wine, and like it was just like this moment that came full circle for me as far as like what I wanted to do in life, like how I knew like I was like, it was like I knew I was meant to be here. I'm gonna savor this moment, but what else do I have to do to make sure like I can continue to live a life where I can travel or I can just have like really grand experiences like this?
Yeah.
Because like that's not something that everyone can say they've done, you know?
Yeah.
And then it was that experience that really made that trip so memorable for me, because even getting there was a struggle. I didn't say this, but I'm actually a chemistry major. And when I majored in chemistry, there's no time for you to study abroad.
No.
That's not built into my chem curriculum. And so it was because I minored in French that I was able to study abroad over a summer. Like a lot of times students will study abroad like fall or spring, but I had no choice but to study abroad like a summer term. And it was that was a hassle. Then like actually paying for the program was a hassle. So it was just knowing that I had all these obstacles in my way, and then I finally got here, and then it's like I'm experiencing all these things. Like my teachers got us tickets, like I'm talking about Eiffel Tower, like anything we wanted to do. They were like, y'all trying to do this? Like, okay, we're planning this for you guys. Like they took us to get like gelato one day. Like I'm talking about like they hooked it up. Like they hooked it up for us.
Luxury.
Yes, like
studying abroad,
and they hooked it up, and for that, like I'm just so grateful. Like it was like, yeah, we were there for an academic reason, but
it
was definitely
experience.
Yeah,
the entire.
They definitely wanted culture to be like the center component of our learning. Like it is at the Rutgers Career Fair, like fall of 2015. And I met a recruiter from L'Oreal, and I was very honest with her. I told her, I was like, I'm a chem major. I love cosmetics. You're like, I'm it. Like I call myself a girly nerd, right? And I was like, I haven't had any experiences in the lab here, but I know career in cosmetics is what I want. I was like, but what I can speak to is I just studied abroad in Paris. And what I saw was, so in Paris, I went shopping like crazy.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like every day I was going shopping, and I would go to class, and my teacher would always be like, oh, what'd you do yesterday? I was like, I went shopping, and then it got to the point she's like, Melissa, but if you go shopping every day, like how are you gonna bring your stuff back to the US?
I was gonna say, you was shipping stuff.
No, I had to buy an extra suitcase. I say that because when I was explaining to her, like, you know, I would go shopping and I would see, for example, I would see L'Oreal hair color. And it's crazy because I do work in hair color now, and I use this reference explicitly. I told her that I would see hair color at like a Monoprix or like any of like the other French stores, and I'd be like, yo, that's kind of dope. Like, it doesn't look like the hair color I see in Target. It looks like hair color for a European consumer. Like the model on the pack looked European. Like they had darker shades because it was like tailored for a European consumer. And I told her I really liked how even though L'Oreal, like from what I knew at the time, was like selling products from the US, that they tailored even the packaging, even the product offering to different consumers based on their region. And she was like very impressed that that was something I mentioned. And then she highly recommended me.
Right.
Like, yeah,
that's like difference in the way
always
that
a
they
way
act.
to show yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like those details about the company.
They love to hear that stuff, because it's like I know every L'Oreal brand, like I knew that before I started working there. So, like just know that this was a brand I was obsessed with.
So it sounds like this was literally something that was just for you.
Exactly.
And I say this all the time. I be at work like, oh, this is so fun. Like I don't know, like to me it's fun.
I was
like,
gonna say, it sounds like your job is very, very fun. You're always like, tell us a little bit about that if you don't mind. Because it seems that your travel venture is what kind of also helped shape you get to where you're at now with L'Oreal. And
so after meeting with the recruiter, she basically highly recommended me for an internship. Met with the interviewer, passed the interviews and stuff, and then I interned. So I interned summer of 2016. I worked on a bleaching project, looking at different ways to minimize damage in the hair, because it's well known that bleaching is a damaging process, but it's like, as basically a company that sells bleach, you want to make sure you want to offer your consumers something more, something that can like protect themselves. And so I was successful in developing two like additive kind of formulas, and I pitched to like a senior panel of leaders, like this is what I did this summer, like these are my chemicals, I mixed them in these ratios, and like full on like gave them my little hair swatches as samples. And they liked me as an intern. So it was like that experience, like I always volunteered to do things as an intern. So then they gave me a full-time job offer. Like amazing. I had a job before I graduated college. Like
wow.
Yeah.
That's
like,
amazing. That's
that
everyone's
secure
dream.
the bag.
Yes.
Like, secure the bag.
I'm like, this is so inspiring.
Exactly. I know. And I think that's part of the reason why I decided to have you on this episode. Like, you are a very inspirational young woman.
And verse like, I just met you, but yeah. I'm just like, well, you're so interesting.
Okay. So I was saying that I really liked Greece, like Athens, Mykonos, like you were saying, like they actually paint every building on those islands actually has to be painted in white. From what they told, like it's a mandate, and that's why they all look like that. Wow. They have to paint them white and blue.
The pictures are like surreal. Like, I'm like, this cannot be
like
real.
So excited to go. Like, I think
you're gonna like it.
It's on my list of places to go. Like,
and they're very small, so it's like it's nice.
Okay,
it's very nice.
So exciting.
And then for number 3, that's a hard one. I would say. I don't know. I really liked Spain. I picked Spain. Because I liked Barcelona. Barcelona is lit.
Okay.
Like, if you do Barcelona the right way, you'll have an amazing time.
Okay.
But there's also an island off the coast of Spain, Palma Mallorca. So a lot of people do like Ibiza or Palma Mallorca. We did Palma Mallorca, and like very beautiful, like not as like touristy or like super populated, but I'm talking very, very nice. It was like, because I did like a Euro trip, there were some days you didn't always want to turn up. That was more like a chill. They had a club, they had a really popular club there, but it was still more of like what I would say was like a chill spot for us. Like, and it was very pretty, like very, very, very pretty. So yeah, those would definitely be my top 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ashley, I think she had something special for you too today.
Oh,
so
okay.
I know we've given it all to you.
So I was like browsing traveling topics. So on the awkwardtraveler.com, it says 8 topics you should talk about before traveling with someone.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, this is like really cool. So 1, budget.
Facts.
2, itinerary/sightseeing priorities.
Okay.
3, speed of travel.
What do you mean by speed of travel?
I guess if you want to like do connecting flights or that type of thing.
Okay, yeah.
4 is sleep schedule. So do we want to be partying all night, or do we want to like be on the tight schedule? 5, accommodations. That really plays into budget. 6, food preferences, which is like crucial when talking about traveling, I feel like. 7, travel style. So are we doing bad and bougie? Are we doing a budget trip?
That's interesting.
And then 8, questions and concerns, like really just like hashing it out. So I thought that was really cool. When traveling with other people, are those like topics that generally come up, or do you feel like those are important or really not important?
100%. I really do. Yeah.
For me, when I did the Euro trip, I actually went with my friend Lex.
Oh, okay.
And it was our first time like traveling together. So like things that you touched on, like the budget, that was very key because we were going for so long, we wanted to like make our money stretch. And like, I don't know if you guys ever saw those like spring break. It's like a website. They can plan like a trip for you, but maybe it's like $5,000 or whatever. And she had saw one of those, and I was like, no. Like, if we go together, like, the trip will be less than $3,000. And that's what it came out being. Like, for 30 days, we did, like,
30 days?
I went to Europe for a month. Yeah.
So I need to know
$3,000.
2 weeks
on flights and housing, I spent $3,000. Less. I think it was actually, like, $2,800.
That's actually amazing.
Yeah.
That's really
so, like, I was like, no, I got this. I figured out where to fly in and fly out. That was the cheapest. And then from there, it was like, if we're going to hop around, let's hop around in an order that gives us the cheapest flights. Yes. So we booked it, we wrote out all the countries we wanted to see, all the places we wanted to stop. And then we kind of Google flights, whatever it was. Wow. Like, we're going to start in Paris, we're going to go here.
Because I heard too, it's really easy when you're over there to just take a $60 flight to
regardless of, you could go from France to Italy for $60. Because when you're in Europe,
me too. Yeah, no. I want to just go hopping.
Facts. Because the thing about going, or France to Spain, right? That's like going from Jersey to Atlanta. Maybe not even. Wow. That's how, they're not, every country isn't as big as the US. So it's not like you're flying to California, going from France to Italy. So that is why the flights aren't expensive. But it's in an hour you could be speaking a whole nother language.
Wow.
If you really think about it.
A whole different, that's a whole new experience. That's a vacation within a vacation.
Yeah. Wow. Whole new architecture, food, all that.
Wow.
So So definitely, I think budget is key, and what you touched on about like the time schedule. I like when I travel, I'm not very into like I'm doing this at 10
Like
o'clock.
time.
Yes, I feel like that would give me anxiety
So
and make
maybe
my anxiety go crazy.
I have to learn that because I'm definitely planning Patty. Like I need to know that we're gonna be here at 10 o'clock.
No, I plan too.
And then, but we gonna make sure that we're done eating by 10:45.
No, Shanoa, no. Because you never know. Like, what if you can't read the menu? Like, what if you don't have cash? Like, when I go to like a different country, I'll say like, there's certain things I want to do. Like when we were in Barcelona, we did like a sightseeing bus. I've like never done one of those. I've just never done it. Like they have it in New York. I've like never done it.
But see, I go to another country and do a sightseeing.
Yeah,
I'm not going to New York.
Exactly, but something like that, it's not time specific. So you hop on, hop off. But it was like, okay, we wanted to see all these things. The sightseeing bus was the perfect thing to do it. But as far as like, I'm trying to eat lunch, no. We gonna do it. I love to like stroll. Like you can like I'm not a big walker, but I'll walk if I'm in a different country. Like I'll take a turn. I'll like take a picture with graffiti. Like I'm very into just like maybe I'll get there when I get there, but like I don't mind going the wrong way.
Like diverting, you know, eventually you'll find your way when you are ready.
And you might discover something you was never going to find taking that direct route to where you were going.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I want to say, especially when traveling with friends, how should you, like as you were saying, talking about accommodations, how should you like really accommodate?
So I think it depends on who you're traveling with. Like I know for some people, like they want their own bed, like you know, different things like that. So and that may not always be a given depending on where you're going to. Like for example, in Italy, when I was in Milan, we actually had like 2 twin beds. But in Venice, it was just like 1 bed. So one is also a comfort thing. Like, are you comfortable sleeping in the same bed with the person you're traveling with?
Yeah.
So I think that should definitely be stated because it's not every country is not having 2 beds in a room or like 2 double beds. Like, because a lot of times, like, and I always say this as Americans traveling, we have to be mindful that everything isn't big and supersized where we're going. Like America is very big on we're gonna drive a big truck, we're gonna have luxury, a big this, we're gonna have a big apartment.
Experience.
You could be at a nice hotel in London, but don't think it's gonna be the size of this room. Like that's just not what it is.
Gotcha.
Like, they're just Europeans just think a lot smaller. They think a lot like they want to make better use of their space in a way. So even that concept of space is something you should like have a conversation with whoever you're traveling. But depending on how long you're gonna go for or all the different countries you're gonna see, definitely try to share a bed because that'll reduce your costs, right? So it's like all those things kind of worked back into budget. Like I definitely think budget is number one because if you can save money sharing a bed, that's like a given. Like
100%. I agree. So also, I wanted to ask you because you know it's 2019.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. I don't think we ever like said
Happy New Year.
Like you know, so New Year means new traveling. So what can we see from you? Because I'm always watching your Instagram story.
I'm going to be from now on.
Always stalking her. So what's going on this year?
So I just came back from Iceland for my birthday. That was lit. We're gonna get into that.
I was gonna say, we're definitely gonna get into Iceland because I see.
I might do. I don't know. I want to do LA at some point this year.
I just came back.
I want to do LA at some point I've never been to LA. Like last year was the first time I actually went to California. I went to San Francisco.
I went for my third time.
I still have yet to be.
No, and I loved Cali off that one trip alone. So I know I'm gonna love LA. I want to do Atlanta. There's a conference I want to go to in June. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but I actually want to travel to Africa this year.
I'm trying to make it at the end of this year. I'm really hoping that either one of my best friends or somebody in my family say, let's just go. Yeah. Because then I'm like, okay,
going.
Yeah. Right. I want to do that because this year I graduate from my master's program. So I want to do thank you. So I want to do another like big trip. So I'm hoping Africa. I feel like Dubai is in the stars, but
I
want to do Dubai when I'm like balling. Like I want to like take full advantage.
Take the empty suitcase.
Facts. So
you can fill it up.
So maybe that or Mexico. I've like never been to
I'm
Mexico.
going this
so.
May.
What?
I'm going a lot.
You're going everywhere.
I'm about to come with her. Look.
So I had to like get on Nessie's level.
No, I gotta get on your
I have
level.
to get on both of their levels.
Finally got my passport. So this year I go to Hawaii in April.
Hawaii.
I'm going with my best friend Diane and my cousin Brianna. Me and
That's
Brianna are trying to have
awesome.
so
exciting.
cousin time, loving each other,
Aw.
that type of thing. So we came up with the idea to go to Hawaii together.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my best friend being her, she always ready to go. So
Yeah.
I'll be able to enjoy time with both of them, and I'm so excited.
How long are you in Hawaii for?
We're only going for a couple of days. We're on 5 days, 4 nights. So
Okay.
nothing too hectic. This is my second time going. My first time when I went to Hawaii, I was 15.
What?
And it was because my cousin's husband was stationed in Hawaii.
Okay.
So he was in the military and they were traveling around a lot. So her being there gave our family the opportunity to travel and visit. And it was a blast. So I'm actually excited to be returning back. I think we're going to the smaller island. We're going to be in Honolulu. So.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Look, to Hawaii. Hello.
We might have to meet you there.
Right.
It's okay. You guys
Look like you getting no shit on. I'm coming. What's the flight number?
So I'm really excited, and I think that'll give me, this is finally me being able to experience. This is my grand year of getting out of the country.
Yes.
Everywhere that I was going was inside, but I'm finally going to Mexico. We're doing a Mother's Day trip with my family.
Oh,
that's
family. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is really cute.
That was their idea.
Yeah, that's so
She was like,
cute.
"Yeah,
I like
we're
that.
going to Mexico for Mother's Day," and I'm like, okay. So
Oh, that's so fun.
we're doing that, and then I'm taking my aunt again on another trip to Europe. So
Okay,
we were thinking about going for 2 weeks, but now she said that I could maybe just
Maybe
do a whole
do
month
3
of
or
July.
4.
Like,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
3.
And if you do go in July, plan to go to Paris around Fête Nationale. Like I think it's happening on Monday the 15th or Sunday the 14th.
It's like June, July.
It's like July.
Oh, that's
It's
my
like,
birthday. July 15th is my
Oh my
birthday. So,
God.
I
It's like the 4th of July. It's like their national holiday. Like how we have fireworks and stuff like that. They do that at the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
Like
Oh my
I had
God.
videos and I'm just like,
So I need to make sure that I am in Paris around my birthday.
Yeah.
yes, because they do this fireworks show at the Eiffel Tower and you know it's
That sounds like it's to die for.
But yeah, Ashley, what about you? Like what you got
So
going on this
I'm
year?
also graduating with my master's.
Yes.
So I think I want to get
Black
together.
Queen.
Yes. With some of the girls that I'm graduating with, I've grown very close to. So we're going to be planning a trip soon.
awesome.
Yeah, we kind of put our spring break ideas off on hold,
Okay.
and it's like let's just do it big for graduation. So
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. So I'm excited to
Cheers,
see like where that will take us. Hopefully, I have a full-time job and I have even bigger reasons to celebrate and like really treat myself to a nice trip.
And what you could also do is like if you do get a job, you can tell them to push your start date back, so you can start
that's
after your
smart.
trip. Because
Yes.
that's what I did. Don't think I did that 1 month. I did the 1 month and then I started working
Okay.
because you don't have honestly as a new employee you don't get a 1 month
Exactly.
vacation. So you make sure you use that time like
So
smartly.
yeah, I'm like, if I'm starting a new job, I'm like, I can start when
On
I return.
When I
this
return.
day, right?
Yes.
And that's okay. Like
Yeah.
as long as you let them know early, there shouldn't really be a problem.
Exactly.
Yes.
We are actually doing a giveaway to all of my girls who are traveling. So the rules are literally, and I'm going to place them in the description box below. We are giving away this cute travel hat.
There's so many ways you can style this. Like,
And Ashley's a stylist, so she
yes,
knows.
I will
It's
help
not
you.
me. It's not
Hit me up. I will help you style this.
Okay. We're giving this away. It came from Everything But Water, which is a bathing suit store that I'm always in. So I seen it and I said, I'm gonna grab this. This is really cute. So all you have to do is literally subscribe to Girl Talk, follow us on Instagram, and tag a friend. And that's really it. That's all you have to do. I just want to ask Vanessa a few more questions before we get into talking about traveling safe. Especially as women, we are all about the fun that sometimes we forget to make sure that we are traveling safely. So I definitely want to do that. But before that, just a little bit more about the book. Tell me a little bit more about it, because I know you're not the only author. There's a bunch of contributing authors in this book. So just a little bit more. I got my copy.
And I'm gonna buy mine.
So you guys make sure you hit up Vanessa so that way you guys can get your copy of She's Ready.
Yes,
But,
ma'am. So in total, I believe it's 10 contributing authors. And we all range in what our stories are. Like, I know there was one girl I actually met at the launch event. She traveled to India for her study abroad. Like, some experiences might come from older women. And in the book, it's like there's like worksheets and like, let me show you.
She signed mine.
Yeah, so there's like spots for you to like fill in.
I was about to
and
say, like,
I think
photos in
after,
here.
yeah,
This is
so cute.
Oh my god, I'm super excited.
I think I'm chapter 5. Yeah. So after mine, there's this thing where it's like make a statement. So it says, talk about resilience. Vanessa was determined to make her Paris dream a reality. When was the last time you were so passionate about accomplishing a goal that you would do whatever it takes? So you can like really fill this in, and there's like so many things for you to like fill in. There's like a checklist. I think that's what
you got like packing essentials, packing tips. There's literally everything in this book.
Travel advice for women.
And we've all kind of contributed to those different ideas. So like the packing essentials was like probably maybe I said like pack this and like someone else said pack that. So she kind of combined all those thoughts.
So everyone, this was like a whole collaborative idea.
This was so smart. Oh
and the best part about this book is that all the proceeds from this book actually go back to the nonprofit. So like none of the women are doing this really for profit. It's more so to give back to that nonprofit to really help younger women travel and see the world. Yeah, because I can honestly say if it wasn't for travel, I honestly don't really think I would be the same person that I am today.
Of course.
And it's not really for like anything superficial. It's just like that's something that shaped me as a person, and it just shapes kind of like my goals, and it shapes kind of my desires and what I want to do in life.
You got out there.
And I saw the world.
That's
like,
it.
Yeah.
You got to see everything that, a lot of people
I know the opportunity.
Exactly. Like I know a couple of people who are my friends who haven't left Jersey, or much of myself who's really gotten out of the US. Like Hawaii's grand and it's great, but technically it's still a part of it. So this will be like my first year, and a lot of people were telling me that when I travel, a lot of my experiences are definitely going to shape the way I think.
What?
Change your perspective.
Like I don't think small. Like I just think big. Like and that's just.
I love big things.
Yeah.
See, so I'm really excited, and I want to get into your trip about Iceland.
Yes.
Yes. Just came back. I seen her. She was out here, and it looked cold because I'm pretty sure the pool was steaming. So that's how I knew it.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that and what Iceland is like.
So I went to Iceland for my 24th birthday. That was I think I've only been back for like 2-3 weeks now, but I really wanted to go. I went with my boyfriend. And to get to Iceland, I did an Expedia bundle. I'm actually a really big fan of those.
Okay.
I did the bundle. It was like flight and hotel, I think for maybe like 600-ish each a person, and then we had to pay a little more for our baggage because I can't pack light. So we had to pay a little bit more for baggage, but the pool pictures you're talking about are from the Blue Lagoon.
Okay.
Now this is like
I heard so much.
It's like
about
a geothermal lagoon in Iceland. It's really close to like the airport or like Reykjavik, which is like the capital, but everybody who goes to Iceland goes to this lagoon.
Yes.
Like whether you go on your first day or you go on your last day, like everybody goes here. And I'm not gonna hold you, it's cold. Like you gotta get in your bathing suit and you kind of walk outside to get in the lagoon. And I'm talking about cold. I get cold so fast.
Same.
Yes.
And I'm cold, but I'm not gassing. The moment I step my foot
Out that door.
into this body of water, I'm good. Like
It was okay. So
yeah, like it's that warm.
looks
I'm talking about
amazing.
like, so they really, in Europe, they use like Celsius. So I think they were saying it's like 37 to like 40, 41 degrees Celsius, like warm, like hot pool, like I'm in a jacuzzi. Like think of a massive like jacuzzi, and the water is infused with like sea salt and like silica and all these different things that like are supposed to be good for your skin. And depending on the package you get, you'll get like different masks. Like every standard package comes with like a silica mud mask, and it's just like a mask you put on. And like I had to get the premium package because
that's what she is.
Skincare.
Look, and it came with a robe.
That's right.
It came with a robe and slippers and like a drink in the
whole nine.
There's like a swim up bar. Like I have like little videos.
Iceland.
Yes. And it's like you're getting like some sparkling drink and like lit. And so we rented a car, and what we did the second day, Iceland is really known for like all these like mountains and like hiking.
You went to go see
I went to see the waterfalls because
I love waterfalls.
look, I'm not really an outdoorsy person. Like I was talking to people at my job and they were like, "You should go hiking," and I'm looking at them like, "Y'all don't know me. Like that's not just I'm not a hiker. Like, that's just not what I do. Like it's dangerous out there.
It is.
I might fall. What are we gonna do if I fall?
She not lying.
Like, you know?"
Yeah.
And so we drove like outside of the capital, maybe like an hour and a half. And I'm talking about, and mind you, it's cold, so like everything is covered in snow. But these waterfalls are like beautiful, like
That's just,
and then you know it's cold because it's like icicles forming on the back
that
of
sounds
the
so beautiful.
waterfalls.
Oh my god.
And there's one waterfall in particular. Also, I can't pronounce none of the names of any of these places, but there's one where you could like walk behind the waterfall.
What?
But we didn't do that because it's the winter and everything is icy. They close it off.
Oh,
but if
okay.
you go during like the summer or the fall, you could walk behind the waterfall, and I can't imagine how beautiful that is.
must be.
That's just so dope.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we want to get into 10 tips for staying safe as a solo female traveler. I found this article on whytravelblog.com, so I really want to talk about it just because, you know, there's been a lot going on. I even did a project myself in my human rights class on human trafficking, and you know, within the United States or wherever you go, because of course some people think that living in the United States that
Makes you exempt
or this
Yeah.
can't happen to you, and it definitely can. So of course you guys always want to be on alert and make sure that, you know, you're paying attention to wherever you go. So I just want to read these tips aloud because whether you're even solo or if you're going with a friend, me and Ashley were talking about how we don't feel comfortable like traveling. We need like at least three, three people to make me feel like, you know, we got a good fighting chance. If it's one big, we can all jump. Like, you know, so just to keep yourself safe. I think this is big. Do not get wasted.
Yes, I feel like at least have one person watching over you, but still you should never be to the point where you're completely blacked out, don't know where you are, don't know what you're doing, and all of you are like the same.
Y'all all can't get that drunk.
Everybody's not.
Like one person,
somebody has to be the designated I'm not getting snatched person.
Yeah.
To make sure that everyone else is like perfect, you know. And I think that's very, very, very
like have fun, but like don't overdo it.
Exactly.
Because like your safety is so important.
Exactly.
Even in America, like anywhere you go, any party.
Yeah. Don't tell people where you are staying.
Facts.
Until your trip is over and you are back home safe, like you're home, do not post where you are.
Yeah, like I would never post the hotel name or like if someone meets you in the bar, like where you staying, you know, down the road, like and make sure they're not following you to wherever you go next. Like I think that's very true, especially if it's like two girls, like you know, like you never know who you're talking to.
Be hyper safe, especially like we're in the age of social media. Be like very careful and cognizant of what you're posting, what information you're giving out, because you don't want to give out too much information.
And in that regard too, like you also can, like depending on, like for example, like if someone knows you travel, you might become a target at home for like someone robbing you or like someone breaking into your home while you're away. So like that too.
Be very cautious. Very cautious.
Just like again, don't give out information. Don't tell people like where you're staying.
Learn to read situations.
Yes, I feel like in any situation, like being able like to do that is so important.
Yeah.
Whether you're traveling, like just in general, I feel like that's like a rule of thumb.
I feel like that too. No matter where you are, literally.
Because in Europe, a thing is also you could get pickpocketed very easily. Like that happened to like I think at least one student on our abroad trip. Like it's just like because you don't think of it like some, you know, keeping your phone in your back pocket or like our professors would tell us like if you're gonna wear a backpack, have it face forward. Like put it in front of you. Like don't really wear like a crossbody. Like if you like, cause Longchamp like is a really popular bag. If you're gonna wear one, keep it so that the button is like inside, like different things like that. Like our professors
Wow.
were putting this on because you can get pickpocketed in the metros, at like the tourist attractions, like
Wow.
anywhere in
Very
Europe. And it's
touristy
just like,
spots where they know that people
Where
are
you're
gonna
a
be.
target.
and they know that you got your phone and you got cash on you, and it's not nothing personal. It's just like you're just targeted. Like
Yeah. Carry a doorstop. Wow. So on here it says one of my best tips for solo female travelers is to carry a little plastic doorstop. It takes up no space and it is great to have to shove under a flimsy hotel room door at night just in case if someone is trying to come
That's
in.
crazy.
I would
That is
have
a good
never
one.
thought of
Yeah,
that.
Me either.
Whoa.
And number 9, and also a whistle. You never know when you're going to need a travel safety whistle. Many great backpacks have built-in whistles with.
Guess I got
I like that.
whistle.
Yes.
Listen, I just think that it's very important to just travel safe. Like,
Be like
100%.
hyper aware of your
Yeah.
surroundings.
And
What the people are doing, like if
Yeah.
someone is watching you, like I'm the type of person. I travel from New York a lot, so I commute back and forth. So I'm always looking over my shoulder. I make sure,
Yeah.
like, I don't even wear like things with like big hoods. I always want to like be able to see behind me on the sides of me.
There's over like 40 million people like in the world that's in the system that's being like human trafficked.
Shut up.
Over
Shut
40?
up.
Oh,
40 million.
40
Over
million?
That's like a city.
Yeah, 40 million
That's
people.
a big city.
That makes me like sick to my stomach.
That's crazy.
And then like about approximately, I got all this information from Polaris. I used Polaris, the Polaris project. I want to say that I'm saying that right when I was doing my project for in human rights class. And approximately about 25 to 30% are children, and it's not even just females anymore. And of course, you know, this is girl talk, however, and it's geared toward young women. But even young boys and young men now are being taken and being put into the ring of human trafficking.
That's
Wow.
so
The
sick.
final tip is definitely trusting your instincts.
Yes.
Females, we have
Yes.
that gut, that woman's intuition that they're always telling you guys to use. If you guys feel like, you know, something isn't right or, you know, you have that, go home.
I agree. That's the best thing you can do is just get out of there.
Get out of the situation.
If you don't feel safe, there's no reason to stay.
And hopefully you're with other people and you can tell that to them too.
Yeah.
Because they probably feel the same way or just not saying anything.
Yeah.
Or maybe they didn't even notice and you're bringing it to their attention. Like,
Exactly.
It's just so important.
So, of course, and then if you have your friends with you, that's. So with that, I want to thank Manessa for being here.
Yes,
Thank you for
thank
having
you.
me, lady.
I'm so excited. I got my copy of She's Ready. Please make sure to get your copy. And then remember, we are so happy. I'm really happy because I had no idea that the funds go to a nonprofit.
Yes,
Which
which
I'm
makes
all about that.
Yes.
So definitely snag a book. You will be changing a young girl's life, and I'm glad that I could have helped with that journey for someone. Again, also do not forget to subscribe and make sure you are following us on Instagram and tag a friend. I'm going to make a post so that way one lucky winner can get this beautiful hat and wear on their travel destinations this year.
Especially somewhere tropical.
Somewhere tropical.
Yes.
Take yourself and treat yourself.
Facts.
And that is everything for today. Again, thank you to Manessa and thank you
Yes,
Ashley for
of
always
course.
being
Oh
here,
my
of
gosh.
course.
Of course.
And that's everything for Girl Talk today, and I cannot wait to see you guys soon.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.